I have another installment of my random random stack of comics videos. This time I decided to go with a smaller stack so I could kind of get more into the comics that I talk about, and also, you know, like, because my web camera always gives me like a 10-minute limit on these videos, so I always have to make them last. I have to cut them short at 10 minutes. So we'll see if this is a better format to work with, a smaller stack of comics instead of a big stack of comics. First off, we have Batman Brave and the Bold, number 110. This is a really great classic example of just classic 70s Batman art. I've always been a huge fan of this art style, or this artist. His name escapes me. It's like Don something. But I love his Batman art. He does some really awesome stuff with Batman. And it's all okay. Also want to mention that for the longest time, Wildcat was like the most recurring character in Brave and the Bold, and Wildcat was from Earth 2, which Batman was from Earth 1. So it kind of was that. This is one of the many reasons why Crisis came to be, because of these stories that make no sense. Because how does Wildcat cross Earths? I mean, they don't explain it at all. He's just kind of there. So DC had a lot of old Silver Age comics like that, where characters just kind of cross over worlds without any logical reason why. Sorry, excuse me, I had dropped something. I'm trying to pick it up. All right. Here we go. We have James Bond Jr. number 1. This is just a really goofy comic book idea. And obviously it's aimed more towards a younger audience. It's actually this is probably a cartoon or something. Like, it looks like it's one of those. It looks like a licensed comic. It looks like something that was probably like a Sunday morning cartoon in the 80s. I really don't know. I might look it up. But yeah, This came in one of those random lots from eBay. I buy those sometimes when I got the extra money, just because I like the randomness stuff. I like, you know, because these videos are random too. I like to just open up a box of comic books to see what I get. You know, it's fun. Here we have the Legend of the Shield number 3. This is by Impact Comics. And if you've watched some of my earlier videos, you would know that I'm a big fan of this. Well, not really a big fan, but I like this company and these comic runs, and I have a big collection of them. I probably have one of the biggest collections of these Impacts that anybody has, because no one really bought these things. But nice historical information about the Shield is the original incarnation of this character from the Golden Age, 1940s, whatever, was actually the very first patriotic superhero. You know, he was like the first superhero to have a patriotic costume and be like a symbol of patriotism in America. He came out a few years before Captain America, he came out a few years before Captain America, so he was actually like the first truly patriotic, star-spangled hero. So I always thought that was a kind of cool little historical bit of information. And speaking of Captain America, we have Super Soldier, Man of War number 1. This is, if you guys watch my other videos, you would know that I have a bunch of these one shots of the Marvel DC crossover. This one and the other one I'm going to talk about later in this video are probably like the biggest ones, like the most awesome, coolest ones, or the coolest combinations. This guy was pretty cool, because he basically just took a lot of them, just took two characters' origins and mixed them together. So in this guy's origin is that he's from an alien planet. I don't know if it's called Krypton or not, but he's from an alien planet. He lands on Earth during the 1940s, and U.S. government finds him and realizes he's got superpowers, so they try to enhance him even more by giving him super soldier serum, which just makes him really powerful. And he basically becomes like a fighter, he basically becomes like a defender of America during World War II. The villain in this storyline is a guy called the Green Skull, I think, which is basically just like a Lex Luthor and Red Skull kind of combined together. Not really that interesting. Some of the other villains are more interesting than they did, but I kind of like some of the characters they put in. Like, Jimmy Olsen's right here on the side, and his World War II kind of get up, and you got Sergeant Rock right there. Actually, I think his name is Sergeant Fury Rock. So I think he's like Nick Fury and Sergeant Rock combined. Next up we have A-Team number 2. I saw this in the store one day, like a dollar bin or something. I just had to get it because it has it has the original '70s cast of SNL in it, which is just so weird. Like it's so weird to see SNL cast in a comic book. I mean, if you notice, they even got like, I don't know what the plot is. I haven't read it in ages. Basically, like there's all these like samurai guys with machine guns, like, and then there's a sumo wrestler fighting Mr. T. I mean, it just looks like an awesome story. It's like an awesomely ridiculous '80s story. Next up, we have Hardwire. This is like number 1 actually. Cool. This is number 1. This is a really weird. This came out of a bundle. This came out of a, what do you call it? This came out of a bundle or whatever too. But this is a really weird idea for a comic DC did in the '90s, like mid '90s, late '90s, or whatever. I guess they decided they wanted to be more politically correct, and they didn't have enough black superheroes. So they kind of created this whole like separate comic line that was like kind of like a separate universe that was made to cater to African Americans, you know. So all the superheroes, all the characters were African Americans, primarily anyway. I think there's a few white guys or Mexican guys, you know, Hispanics ran in there, but it was mostly just black superheroes. And this is one of them. You know, the most famous of these characters that comes out of this series was Static Shock, and he had his own cartoon and a couple years back. So he was the only character that really caught on. None of the other ones really caught on. But this guy was kind of interesting. This guy was basically like a big businessman, you know, like a corporate guy who was like I think he was an engineer or something, and I think like white corporate America messes him, you know, screws him over. So he decides to create like this kind of battle suit and these gadgets, and goes off and becomes like a Punisher type, like a vigilante kind of guy. I never actually read that one. I know I'm pretty bad. I call myself a comic book collector. Well, I am a comic book collector. I'm not a comic book reader actually. I would never call myself a comic book reader because I don't read. I probably haven't read like 80% of my comic book collection. Here we have the Crusaders number 2. The Crusaders is basically like the kind of like the Justice League of the Impact universe. Like, you know, they're their team of all their main characters. And this is basically this is part of, I think there was only 3 issues of this. And all 3 issues are fighting against this really like this monster guy who's like supposed to be like kind of like their ultimate villain in that universe. I've read this a long time ago, but I forget exactly what his story is. He's basically some kind of monster that the original team in the '40s defeated, and he came back, and this team had to assemble to defeat him. Basically, we got the Comet, the Fly, Black Hood, one of the members of Web, Shield, and Jaguar, you know, on the team. And there's another guy in here that's like a member of the original team. I think he ends up dying. But they're actually kind of cool. I kind of liked it. I mean, I like the Impact. I like the Impact for some reason. I don't know why. They had kind of like a family-friendly kind of thing to them that I liked. Here we have Daredevil number 91. This is kind of a cool issue. I love this cover, by the way. Really nice Daredevil art. I love the way Daredevil's costume looks. This is the first appearance, or this is the first modern appearance of this villain. How do you say that? The word escapes me. Bullfighters, you know, Mandor. The first modern appearance of the Mandor. It's also got Tombstone in it. Mandor was a really crappy villain. I don't even know why they even brought him back. But yeah, I got that one just because I saw Mandor was on it. I was like, oh. I'm actually running out of time now because I kind of talked too much about comics. So I just want to go over these 2 before I get lost. Damn it. Here we have. There we have the Dark Claw number 1. It was one shot. This is the single probably coolest of the series, and I wish I had it in better shape. I've had this for a long time. It got some extensive water damage. You can't really tell on the video, but it's all wilted and dried up. You know, like it's wet. You know. This is basically Daredevil and not Daredevil. This is Batman and Wolverine mixed together. They're pretty cool, pretty awesome. The villain is like a Joker and Sabretooth guy called the Hyena. It's kind of cool. I just want to touch off before this video ends. I want to touch off on this really awesome looking Superman cover that also came out of a lot. It's got somebody had a sticker on it, so there's part of it missing. The cover's missing, and somebody wrote on it, so it's really not worth anything. But I love this artwork. It's so cool. Superman with a sword riding a big old monster. It's awesome. And I am out of time, so thank you guys for watching.